I decided to answer prompt 3. Can attachment theory explain abusive relationships, and if so, how? In Avoidant Ambivalent Attachment Style as a Mediator Between Abusive Childhood Experiences and Adult Relationship Difficulties by Taylor and McCarthy in 1999, said that children build cognitive emotional representations or internal working models of their experiences in their attachment relationships according to Bowlby's theory of attachment in 1980. These are supposed to influence the quality of later love relationships by providing a model for how close relationships generally progress, which was also by Bowlby and Krall and Troubeau in 1995. Krall and Troubeau in 1995 also said that parent-child ties are prototypes of later love relationships on page 296, which was a major concept of the attachment theory. Internal working models were previously mostly studied in the context of newborns' relationships with their parents, where they were inferred from the infant's behavior during separation reunion procedures. The adults' representations of their early experiences with their parents are now being assessed using new methodologies. Simultaneously, social and clinical psychologists are looking into the role of attachment working models or attachment styles in adult love relationships. Adult attachment type has been linked to the quality of adult love relationships according to recent research by Hazen and Shaver in 1993. The attachment style has been linked to relationships, satisfaction, commitment, love, and trust, which was said by Collins and Reed in 1990, as well as observed levels of self-disclosure and emotional support. Secure attachment style is linked to a desire for intimate relationships, and secure people seek a mix of intimacy and autonomy in their relationships, and they are at ease with emotions of dependency. An ancient ambivalent attachment style is defined by desire for deep relationships, yet fear of rejection may lead ambivalent adults to seek extreme kinds of intimacy and less autonomy, which in my opinion would, I guess, insinuate a more so high-risk relationship with a little less concern for oneself. And it also says the avoidant attachment style is linked to a desire to keep a safe distance from others, and avoidant adults are said to be uncomfortable with feelings of intimacy and dependency, which was said by Shaver and Hazen in 1993. But that would make me think of maybe adults that don't want to be close to a lot of people and want to be dependent on themselves and maybe don't have as much trust in other people. The avoidance style has been further divided by Bartholomew in 1991 into a scared avoidant pattern and a dismissive avoidant pattern. Although both types have a negative perception of others, dismissive avoidants have a favorable perception of themselves, while scared avoidants have a negative perception of themselves. In addition, a number of research has shown that retrospective accounts of childhood interactions with parents are logically related. So in relation to negative or abusive relationships in adulthood, the attachment with their parents, if it was a negative attachment, as in parents didn't pay attention to you when you cried, you weren't given what you needed, or you were left alone often, or you had a separation issue with your parents, it wouldn't help build a trust in that child, and then it might have the child as an adult seek out similar relationships, in which case it would be a romantic relationship in which the other partner was dismissive or cold or uncaring, or wasn't concerned with their partner's needs. Barbary and Fincham in 1990 said that casual attributions are concerned with the partner's reasons for the occurrence of a relationship event, whereas responsibility attributions are concerned with the event's accountability, or answerability. They said that adult love relationships conduct is linked to the attributions partners make for relationship events, according to research. As in, if a partner who may be abusive or aggressive would attribute like negative attributions onto the partner, such as they're dismissive, or they're not communicating, or they're doing something, pretty much an excuse as to why they are acting in the way that they're acting. Physically aggressive spouses have also been demonstrated to be more prone than nonviolent husbands to blame their wives for their poor intents, like selfish motives and blame, which was said by Holdsworth in 1992. While current maladaptive attributional processes may be a result of being in an unpleasant relationship, it's also plausible that maladaptive attributional processes are a cause of intimate relationship problems. Many theories have claimed that difficulties in forming close adult relationships stem from negative self-perceptions, and that was said by Erickson in 1963. Low self-esteem has been proposed to mediate developmental continuities between bad childhood events and adulthood issues in a variety of ways. One study demonstrated that bad childhood experiences are linked to deficits in numerous components of child's sense of self. And Prof in 1986 and his colleagues have shown in a series of studies that the quality of care infants receive in their early relationships with parents is linked to a number of indicators of children's eventual sense of self. Children who received more sensitive care as infants have higher self-esteem, ego strength, ego resilience, independence, and resourcefulness than children who received less sensitive care. And the second is that these studies also show how negative early experiences can harm a child's development of self-esteem. Brown and his colleagues in 1994, research suggests that these methods may be involved in facilitating similarities between a lack of affectionate care as a child, negativity in current close relationships, and depression vulnerability. Evidence suggests that the protective benefits of successful coping and happy experiences may influence the developing process by increasing self-confidence and self-esteem. And this could be related to romantic relationships, because if one of the partners is lacking in self-confidence and self-esteem, they would be less likely to fight back if someone was being abusive, and they would probably be more likely to believe or accept the abuse or untrue things being said about them by the partner. Bowlby's main conclusion on attachment theory was based on the available empirical evidence at the time, and he said that the infant and young child should experience a warm, intimate, and continuous relationship with his mother or permanent mother substitute, in which both find satisfaction and enjoyment. And that was on page 13 in Bowlby's 1951 article. And he emphasized that the impact of social networks, as well as economic and health issues in the establishment of well-functioning mother-child interactions, is usually overlooked, meaning that houses in a low-income area, or families that have a lot of medical issues such as drug abuse or alcoholism or cancer, things, long-term things probably more so like that, isn't often taken into account when comparing how a mother and infant are bonding or attached, and the infant's attachment style. So related to romantic relationships, I think that the attachment style that a person comes to have as a child can definitely affect their relationships in the future, because it could either cause the person to seek out a similar negative relationship that they had experienced as a child with connections to mother or parents, and try to find that relationship in a romantic sense, in which case it would probably be an abusive or neglectful relationship. Or if you're thinking about it in connections to self-esteem and self-confidence, if the child lacked self-esteem and self-confidence due to childhood experiences such as abusive parenting or just neglectful parenting, then the child as an adult would probably have less of a reason or less of a will to fight a potentially abusive partner, in a sense. So, thank you.